Hello, it's September 8th, 2019, and we're just here to harvest. Don't have any plans for spraying or anything. I'll probably grab a cantaloupe and just let it ripen on the shelf, considering last time I went there it kind of got overripe. I mean, I did leave it for 2 or 3 days, but like, I've also left this for 2 days. I can't be out here all the time anymore. And there's my neighbor lawn mowing, so that's cool. Yeah, hopefully there won't be too much powdery mildew and I'll be able to sort of scope it out. You know, every grit cloud has a silver lining, and I think the one for this is it's a lot easier to move around and avoid the poison ivy. I am barefoot. That is a stupid idea, but whatever. So in terms of ripeness for watermelon, I did read that when the tendrils start getting gray or brown and start dying off, that's a sign it should be ripe. Now, this might not be enough. It looks good enough. I just want to check the bottom to make sure that they're not starting to degrade. No, it's strong and good. See, the problem is I've had things that become too underripe and too overripe, and that's kind of freaked me out a little bit. So maybe what I'll do is I'll get one of the two smaller watermelon, and then, because that one's the big good one, and I don't want to hurt that one. So I don't want to, so I'll get one of the small ones, and then see if it's good enough that, and then I'll use that to judge whether or not that should be picked. So, given that, here is a watermelon that is approximately at the same stage. Where are the tendrils? Where is it even attached? Can't even tell anymore. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So, tendrils are about the same level, so I'm going to grab that and let's see if that's ripe enough. Should be. On second thought, it's got this big yellow spot underneath it, and I don't like that, so I'm going to wait. Here I am, checking it out again. Who cares? So I did grab the watermelon that was hiding down there, because that one had really gray, really brown tendrils. So, and it's quite small, so I'm not really too bummed if it turns out to be underripe. All right. Yeah. So I found this tomatillo that looks like it fell off. Okay, so I'm guessing they're ripe when they do that. Oop, crap. There's more poison ivy. I gotta talk to my parents about maybe doing that for me, because I didn't like that cellulitis. This will be interesting. I have no idea how to cook these, so it'll be a fun adventure. Hello there, Mr. Frog. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, let me get close. Wow, pretty tolerant. I like frogs. They eat bugs. If you wanted to know what a frog looks like, well, there you go. Yeah, 447 grams of cucumber, 730 grams of watermelon, 197 grams of speckled tomato, 59 grams of tomatillo, 12 grams of cherry tomato, 19 grams of pepper. Hey, so it's September 9th. Just here to really quickly grab some stuff like pepper. Hi, dog. I don't really have anything particular to point out aside from the fact that although there's a lot of portions of this vine which has died, and the upper bit certainly hasn't, and this bit that has the pumpkin is still alive, although I feel like that pumpkin's shrunk a little bit. Anyway, so I'll just grab the stuff. Also, there doesn't seem to be very much powdery mildew. Maybe a little bit on this leaf. Like, that might be it, or it might be, I don't know, poop or something. Like bird. So it's September 9th, and I got 1.104 grams of watermelon, 127 grams of cucumber, 24 grams of cherry tomato, 147 grams of speckled tomato, and 52 grams of pepper. Hey, so it's September 13th. It's a Friday the 13th. Wow. I hope this doesn't mean that I go and find there's a bunch of powdery mildew, because I've missed the last 3 days of gardening, which means that I have no idea what the situation is going to be like, which is fun. I really need to. I started up my last semester of school, so I'm just being a little behind on things. I need to adapt to this new schedule of mine, and the Triple E outbreak hasn't helped, but you seem to be catching this just as the last bit of daylight comes over. The whole garden seems to be in shadow right now. Anyway, probably have some pumpkins, cucumbers, whatnot. Let's go check it out. Yep, so it looks like we do have some powdery mildew along this edge. It's gotten to the zucchini. And again, more of the sugar pumpkins have been hit by it. I guess I'm doing that first, and then I'll get around to actually harvesting. Oh, disappointed sigh. It looks like this bit fell down entirely. Didn't manage to glomp onto the upward netting before it kind of fell. There's a lot of green tomatoes. I hope we're gonna get a bumper crop soon. Definitely some cucumbers. I'm starting to harvest them when they're a lot smaller now. Oh, and that pumpkin died. Oh, great. That's another thing I'll take care of. We might not get any red warty things. The powdery mildew seems to have really hit it pretty hard. Oh well, what can you do? So I was going to bowl it into the woods, but and I was holding it by the stem, and it didn't make it that far, did it? At this point, it might be actually worth just removing the zucchini entirely. I don't think we're going to get any more this year. It just doesn't seem to be enough. Well, these cantaloupes seem to be about ripe, so I'm definitely going to harvest them after I dump the bag full of infected leaves. Well, it looks like we got a bit of the big warty things infiltrating up here. I saw, so there's that, and then there's also, I believe, in here. I just saw it. Yeah, there is more of that. I guess they want to be on the trellis. I'm not gonna stop them. I guess it's fine. I guess. Yeah. Maybe take some of the real estate away from the cucumbers, which you already have too much of. Yep. It looks like most of the Delicata vine has died. Like, this is all just, dried up and kind of pointless. So I'm gonna grab squash, off, because they're not gonna get any more from this crispy old thing. Who says gardening is a peaceful activity? Maybe we'll have some squash food at some point. I did bring scissors. I can just do this, in theory. Seriously, this thing does not want to get off. There we go. Cool. I think, yeah, that one's probably dead. That one might not be. No, who am I kidding? They're all dead. All right. Big squash harvest. So once again, I am faced with the dilemma. Do I want to grab this watermelon or not? And judging by the fact that this tendril thingy is completely brown, and the fact that the last watermelon turned out well, I think the answer is yes. So, this big boy that we've been watching all year is finally going to become dinner. Epic pause. 2.345 grams of big ol' watermelon. 887 grams plus 412 grams of Delicata squash. 970 grams of cantaloupe. 1.172 kilograms of cucumber. 43 grams of tomatillo, 251 grams of tomato. This is a big harvest. Just realizing that. 146 grams of pepper, 170 grams of speckled tomato, 98 grams of cherry tomato. Finally, we're done with literally all this. Literally, that's a lot of fruit and veggies. It's gonna be a lot of the cooking. So I've been cutting up the cantaloupe, and this one had like a soft spot, so I assumed it was overripe. But if you look inside, it looks like the seed pod. Normally they're pretty strong in the center here, but it seems to have kind of migrated towards the end, and I'm wondering if that was because it was like hanging on like that. Interesting nonetheless. Bet this is still good though. Sure smells like a cantaloupe, that's a good sign.